Amazing, amazing morning, guys. So, we're about to start this amazing journey into something that I don't think that's been explored before. This is a look behind all the people that handle these Airbnbs. And she's a super host, as well as I am. So, this is the Duke of Earl residence. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, first and foremost, for joining us. This is our first episode, so who knows, 2-3 years from now, you could be in, with all these cameras around, and, this guy, you could be watching this guy at HGTV, man, like, wow, I knew that guy, and now I'm back again, but there's a lot more cameras. And this guy's a lot richer. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. This is our very first episode, and I have an amazing, amazing treat for you guys. So, normally, everybody just sees the what I always say, the steak. Everybody feeds everybody the steak, and I always say the sizzle is the most important. Like when it comes to the sale, it's the sizzle, not the steak that you sell.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so she knows because she's in HR. So,
yes.
So let me introduce my guest. With no more delay, please introduce yourself and give us a little bit of background on you, please.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Charla. I'm from upstate New York, originally from the Boogie Down Bronx.
Yeah, see?
I'll say born, but raised in Westchester. Met Phil a couple days ago. Have had an opportunity to stay at his beautiful home. So in having lots of good conversation with him, we're making today happen. It's me and my daughter, my husband. We're here in Philly, just trying to enjoy the Philly life. Maybe grab a cheesesteak or two, some water ice and some pretzels or something. I don't know. Just love to travel and traveling here to Philly, for a little bit of business, but also to see family and everything. So here we are.
Awesome. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give our viewers a little treat. So I wanted to, like I said about the steak and the sizzle earlier, a lot of people just show, oh, beautiful home, stay here, stay there, but nobody talks about the nitty gritty. And that's what I want to talk about.
Sure.
I want to talk about, experiences as guests.
Yep.
Because you are a guest at my residence.
Yep.
So I want you to talk a little bit about that, how that experience has been for you. And later on, what I keep saying treat, is that Charla's also a host, and she's just not a regular host, guys. She is a super host. You know what I mean? And let me tell you, she is like no joke. She has logged in over 120 reviews with feedback. There's some new-ish that I don't even know about. Like, I was like looking at her page, and I'm like, wait, she's returned everybody, like every comment she's returned, like, hey, thanks for staying at our house. It was amazing. I'm gonna read some of those, like when we're over there at the coffee shop, man, because it's pretty amazing. To take that kind of, I'm gonna say, the word escapes me, but the best word that I have right now is that humanity to make somebody, like feel once they gave you something, you gave it right back, which is dope.
Right.
So.
Thank you for that.
No, thank you for doing this, man. This is like. So this isn't typical, she is so gracious. She's an amazing individual, because not just anybody would do something like this, guys. And I want you to understand that, because we're intruding in her space. Like,
I mean, it
you
is
know,
your house.
It's my house, but it's your house now. You know, like you did rent it. You know what I mean? Like, it's your space. You know, my house, but your space. I mean, my name's in the deed, but you know, this is your space. You paid for it. You know, so I really do, truly, from the bottom of my heart, I do want to thank you for doing this.
Sure.
You did not need to do this, and it's awesome. You know, hopefully one day you'll be looking at this like, you know, showing Real that.
Yeah.
Look, he's funny, but look at this guy. Look at here. Anyway. So anyway, so without further ado, let's just get into the meat of it. You know, so tell me.
Actually, can we just take a quick break? Sorry.
It's me, Pete. No, it's me, Philip. Bringing you another amazing episode of this amazing food and these amazing hosts, man. You know, and these great tidbits, so you learn how to run your Airbnb at a higher level. As a guest,
Yes.
what do you think? You know, like from, you know, and I gotta ask all these questions from a guest's. From a guest perspective, me as a host, what do you think is the most important thing a host can do to make their guests feel like, you know, it's almost like a dual question, like at home, you know, feel warm, feel good, feel welcome,
Right.
you know, not stark, not cold, you know, like all of these things that, you know, like when that makes Airbnb, you know, so different than staying at a hotel.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think when Airbnb started, it was all about, you know, staying like a local, right? Was really what it was all about. So staying like a local and just trying to make people feel at home. And so, honestly, I mean, it's kind of transactional, but one of the most important things to me is just making sure that it's clean. Like making sure that the space that you're providing to someone is clean. Making sure that the space that you're providing also just feels like someone actually lives there, but without that person's personal things that are there, right? I've seen a lot of people, you know, in listings that I'm looking through locally where I am, but then also just reviews as I'm trying to travel as a guest, where people will talk about the fact that, yeah, somebody lives here during the week, but like, and I know that, but I wasn't expecting for their clothes to be in all the drawers and for their clothes to be in all the closets, right? So like, there are plenty of hosts who do that, but they remove their stuff in time for, you know, for those guests to come. So just trying to be, I expect as a guest for a host to be
Mindful?
thoughtful and mindful, but cleanliness is probably the most important thing.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
It sure is. It sure is. So it's crazy to me. So I think, you know, we were chatting about like other Airbnb stays that we've done, and right before this one, a couple days before we checked in here, we stayed in Westchester, and
Great area.
Well, normally, yes, great area, but this particular place that we booked fairly last minute, so there weren't a lot of other options. It had like okay reviews, and someone had mentioned that there was a very particular scent like 3 years ago in the reviews, that there was a particular scent in the house, and I was like, there's no way the house still has that scent. There's no way.
Has that tinge?
Has that tinge. There's no way. And it was an animal tinge, by the way. Good times. And so I went ahead and booked it, and we walk in, and it smells like air freshener everywhere, like fake forced air freshening. And I'm like, maybe it's just the cleaning products, you know, because they just cleaned, it'll go away. So then aside from that, I pick up my daughter after she's like running around the place, and her feet are filthy. And I'm like, how did you not clean your floors, like at all? And then I finally walk into a certain room and smell the smell, which was basically like cat litter boxy, functifiedness. And we were only there, thank God, for 2 days, but it was just funkalicious. And that's what I mean, where I'm like, it's not very interesting, but cleanliness is probably the most thoughtful thing that someone can do. I mean, no, it's not the most thoughtful thing. it's the most basic thing that a host can do.
Agreed.
Agreed. I mean, it's just an automatic thing.
It's a basic of basics.
It really is. It really is. So, you know, I'll talk more about some of the cleanliness stuff that I do as a host, but like, I'm just so, if I see anything that's out of order, like it's just not okay, I will stay over there and make sure that it's taken care of. But yeah, as a guest, I was just, you know, completely disturbed by what took place there. And it wasn't cheap. So
That sucks.
I'm pretty sure they were charging more than you charge.